Welcome to another episode, everyone. Today, we're diving into why email and chat are so crucial in our daily communications. Did you know that over 70% of workplace communication happens through these mediums?
Absolutely. And it's interesting because you really don't need fancy words to get your point across. Simplicity is key. I remember starting out and being so intimidated by email etiquette.
I can relate. Emails can feel daunting at first, but in reality, most emails are just about being concise and polite. I once read that even CEOs appreciate brevity.
Exactly. There's a common misconception that emails need to be long and formal. In fact, a short, clear message can be more effective. My first job taught me that the hard way.
Do you think this simplicity applies to online chats as well? I find that chats are even more informal, yet still maintain a certain level of professionalism.
Definitely. Chats are more about quick exchanges, but they shouldn't be too casual. Overusing emojis or slang can sometimes send the wrong message.
Right, and I suppose one could argue that being too informal might blur professional boundaries. What's your take on this?
That's a valid point. While being approachable is important, maintaining professionalism ensures clarity and respect. It's a balance we all need to find.
Well, moving forward, what should beginners keep in mind when using email and chat? Any forward-looking advice?
I'd suggest practicing concise communication. As technology evolves, the need for clear, quick exchanges will only grow. So, start simple and build from there.
Let's jump into some essential phrases for emails. These can really make a beginner's life easier. Starting an email can be daunting, right?
Absolutely. A simple hello name or good morning can set a polite tone. It's all about making a good first impression.
And when it comes to the main message, what's your go-to phrase? I often use I am writing to ask about because it's direct and informative.
Great choice. Could you please send me? Is another one I frequently use. It's polite and gets the message across without any fuss.
How about closing an email? I find best regards or thank you works perfectly to wrap things up. What's your take?
Yes, those are classics. Sincerely is also a nice touch for a formal close. Just pick what fits the context best.
But what if someone argues these phrases are too basic? Could keeping it simple ever be seen as unprofessional?
It's a common concern, but simplicity aids understanding. Overcomplicating can lead to misunderstandings, especially for non-native speakers.
Looking ahead, how can beginners improve their email skills? Any future steps they should take?
Practice is key. Start with these basics and gradually experiment with your style. As you grow confident, your email skills will naturally enhance.
Let's transition to online chat. It's everywhere, from WhatsApp to Slack. How does one maintain professionalism in such brief exchanges?
It's about being concise yet polite. For instance, "Hi, are you free to talk now?" is direct but courteous. It respects the other person's time.
And when asking for something, I prefer, "Can you please check this file?" It gets straight to the point without sounding demanding.
Yes, exactly. And a simple "thanks a lot" goes a long way in showing appreciation. It maintains a positive tone in the conversation.
What do you think about using emojis? A smile can add warmth, but is there a line one shouldn't cross?
Emojis are tricky. A smile is fine, but too many can seem unprofessional. It's important to gauge the tone of the conversation.
Some might argue that emojis make conversations more relatable. Do you see any downsides to this perspective?
While emojis can break the ice, overuse may lead to misinterpretation. It's best to reserve them for more familiar interactions.
Looking to the future, how do you see chat evolving in professional settings?
I think we'll see a blend of formality and personal touch. As remote work grows, mastering this balance will be crucial for effective communication.
Let's share some anecdotes. Emma, you once mentioned a student who wrote lengthy emails. What did she learn from that?
Oh, yes, she used to write mini novels. Once she adopted a concise style, her replies improved significantly. It boosted her confidence tremendously.
That's a great story. It reminds me of the phrase less is more. But aren't there situations where detail is necessary?
True, context matters. Detailed emails are crucial when clarity is needed, like in project updates. But even then, structuring content is vital.
So, how can one balance detail with brevity? Would structuring help in such cases?
Absolutely. Use bullet points or numbered lists to break down information. It makes emails easier to follow and keeps the reader engaged.
But what about the counter-argument that structuring might seem too rigid or formal?
It's a valid concern. However, clarity should be the priority. A well-structured email reflects professionalism and respect for the recipient's time.
Looking ahead, how can beginners apply these insights to improve their email skills?
Start by analyzing successful emails you receive. Emulate their structure and tone until you develop your unique style. It's a continuous learning process.
Let's delve into some research. Did you know Harvard's study found emails under 125 words get the fastest responses?
That's fascinating. It emphasizes the power of concise communication. Short emails respect the reader's time and lead to quicker interactions.
Indeed. But doesn't this challenge the notion that longer emails convey more seriousness and thoughtfulness?
It's a common belief, but succinctness doesn't undermine seriousness. It's about being direct yet respectful. Think of it like a well-crafted elevator pitch.
Right. And with the rise of remote work, I imagine this trend towards brevity will only increase. What do you think?
I agree. As our attention spans shrink, mastering concise communication will be even more critical. It's about conveying maximum value with minimum words.
But how can one strike a balance between being brief and losing important details?
Crafting a clear subject line and using direct language helps. Prioritize key points and elaborate only when necessary.
Moving forward, how can learners incorporate these findings into their daily practices?
Try setting word limits for your emails. It's a practical way to practice brevity. Over time, this habit will naturally refine your communication skills.
Let's wrap up with a role play. Imagine I'm your manager and you need to send a quick chat. How would you phrase it?
Hi, Emma. Can you please confirm the meeting time for today? Thanks.
Great! And as your manager, I'd reply, sure, the meeting is at 3 p.m. See how simple yet effective that was?
Yes, simplicity really shines in such exchanges. It keeps the conversation clear and to the point.
Some might say this lacks depth. How would you counter that argument?
Depth isn't always about length, it's about clarity and directness. In a professional setting, that can be more valuable than an elaborate message.
That's a good perspective. For beginners, how can they practice this kind of communication in real life?
Start by simulating real scenarios, like with a friend or colleague. Roleplay helps build confidence and fluency in a low-pressure environment.
Looking forward, How else can role plays benefit language learners in their daily life?
Role plays enhance adaptability. They prepare you for unexpected situations, making you a more versatile communicator in the long run.
All right, that's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.